In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe After Effects to create this. So motion tracking in After Effects, what it is and what is it for? It's a method to track pixels or camera movements in your footage to add elements to it, like replacing screens on the phones, adding text to your moving footage, or adding graphics, infographics attached to any certain motion in the footage. So let's go right into After Effects. I'm going to show you two different ways how to use motion tracking easily. Okay, we are here in After Effects. We got an empty project and 3 clips added to it. That's all. I'm going to select one of those clips, this one. I'm going to right click it and create a new composition from selection. This creates new composition, which is exact length and size of my video clip. In this clip, I've got some motion. It's a camera going up these steps. What I'm going to do, I'm going to track all the pixels in this footage in order to be able to add some text to it. So we need to select the tracker, which is in your effects panel here. If it's not there, you have to go to Window and select Tracker from the list, which is there, and select Track Camera, obviously. Now this is analyzing the footage in the background. The time it takes to do this depends on the speed of your computer and obviously the length and the size of your clip. Bigger the clip, longer the clip, more detail in the clip, it's gonna take longer to analyze it. Just have to wait. So here we are, camera have been solved. And now when we scroll through this clip, you can see that there is a lot of these color crosses, reference points After Effects have found in the clip, which are definable. So any sharp edges, any visible pixels, shapes, colors, everything has been attached a point. Now these points, all of them are grouped in 3 in order to After Effects to determine the perspectives and different planes. So for example, if I hover over these points in any part of this clip, it shows like a target. That target is connection of 3 points together. The software thinks is correct plane of view in the video. But you can see some of them are go flat and don't actually work, but some like this one is front of the step, obviously. There's some flat on the step, some slightly on the angle. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna replace that target with the text. So let's have a look. Let's pick one point here we can find for a text like this one. I'm gonna right click this and create text and camera. That creates 3D tracker camera in your composition and adds text layer. Okay, select the text layer. Now there's a few different ways to adjust. This is actually pretty good because it is in the perspective space, the 3D space, the video footage is as well. So actually aligns to the step. But if you have to adjust it in any way, in axis X, Z, and Y, you can do this by selecting W shortcut on your keyboard, which is rotation tool, and you can actually rotate the text in 3D space to attach to whatever video footage you got. Or, which is my favorite method to do, is go to text layer, transform, and adjust rotation X, Y, or Z axis. So here I can just tilt the text forward and backwards, or move it on this angle. Okay, so let's select this text again and type something in. Something like, Mr. T. As you can see, it's not quite straight at the moment, so we're gonna rotate it a little bit. Just a bit more. There we are. Now I'm gonna also add motion blur to this text because camera is moving and creates naturally motion blur in my footage. I want to add some of that blurriness when camera is passing the text to make it look more natural. So firstly, I have to enable motion blur for all the layers and then switch the motion blur on the text layer. So now when I scroll past the text slightly blurs with the motion blur of the actual camera. And that's the simplest method to add text to moving footage. But sometimes if it doesn't work, the text doesn't stick exactly to the place you want it or doesn't look natural, the easiest way is to delete it and do it again. pick maybe different bunch of points, a different target than you picked originally to create a bit better connection between text and the real footage. To come back to the color dots and the targets, the easiest way to do it is to click on your video clip and select Effect and 3D Camera Tracker, and they all come back for you to add more text to it. Okay, that was the one method. The second method is tracking the point on the screen, not the camera movement, but actually something moving across or in your frame, like this footage of me holding the After Effects logo. This has been tracked in 3D space, rotation, scale, and the movement. But I'm gonna show you firstly the simplest way by tracking just the position of pixels in your footage. So I select the right clip, which is this one. Right click again, new composition from selection. That gives me composition with the length of my clip and exact dimensions, so everything is matching. On this clip, it's me walking across the beach. So what I want to do, I'm going to add some text to me walking across the beach. So I need to track the pixels which are actually moving and changing across the frame. So we're going to go back to Tracker, but before we do this, we need to add layer new null object. This is a null empty layer to which you can actually add motion tracked position points. By doing this, you can easily then add multiple or any graphic, text, video to those motion tracked pixels. I'll show you how it works. So I have created firstly new layer, new null object layer. Then I go to select my video clip in a composition and then go to track motion. That opens this window here with two boxes, one within the other. This is my tracking area for the clip. If I was tracking rotation and scale, like in my example, there will be 2 points to track. So you usually pick two on if the rotation or scale is changing, you have to pick 2 points on the same area. So this is actually very simple because I've only got position change. So I'm going to select here my head, and I'm gonna click on the play button in the tracker window. That's going to automatically play the clip and track any pixels which are moving within those two selectable boxes. So let's do it. As you can see, it's tracking quite clearly. Takes a while. I could have walked faster for this shot, but I didn't. There you go. And that creates the reference points. Now I want to apply these points to my null layer so I can add text and attach to it. So first I need to check my target in the tracker window. This is already null 1 because I have created null object first. If I didn't do it before and I do it now, I would have to edit the target and add that null layer to this. So if I apply it now, it applies position for X and Y, and that's done. And what it's done is done the tracker data here in a video clip, but also added position in a transform. So every keyframe throughout this is added to a null object, and you will see why. So now I'm going to add some text. We're going to put something like this. Quickly format it like that. And now instead of adding the text to video clip, I'm going to add this text to the null object, which has got tracking points of the position of those pixels moving across the screen. So to do this, I need to click on the text layer firstly and select this pick whip, which is the spirally little icon on a text layer, and drag it, click and drag it onto the null object. Now that connects that text layer to whatever is happening within a null object. In our case here, null object has got a position points changing across the clip. So if I scroll this now through, the text is attached to those pixels I have tracked first. There's a lot of different ways to use motion tracking, camera tracking, or object tracking like this. But it's a great tool to be creative with and to add maybe text and logos to walls or to the footage. So don't be afraid to use motion tracking in your After Effects project. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, I'm really sorry. But if you did like it, please subscribe. I really appreciate every single subscription to this channel. I'm creating videos weekly, so I'm gonna give you content, video, photography, related content every single week. So yeah, let's see you next time.